before like this conks out, and then you have to just bring like your desktop computer.
I thought about that. I like put it on I bought like a little wheelie thing from IKEA so that you can like move it when you vacuum.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, imagine me just like wheeling it in here, just buying a super long cord to connect it to my monitor. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back.
I'm Mac.
I'm Jubes.
And this episode, we are going to talk about like the power of words. And as you can tell, my words are a little dull right now.
It's kind of an ironic episode to be recording.
I know. Like, the issue is that it's been a week and a half, and I have no voice still.
Yeah, Michaela's going through what I went through November, December, January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like this like 24-hour bug.
Yeah.
I had a fever. I threw up. It was just all the things. And then I was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wake up. It was like that was Friday night to Saturday night. And then I wake up Sunday morning, no voice.
Awesome.
Absolutely no voice.
That's what we like, especially when we work in customer service.
Oh my gosh, I know. And have a podcast.
Literally.
So my vow of silence, it's been a week and a half. And I still, like, this is good. This is like compared to what it was.
It is really good. Like a week ago, we were all supposed to hang out. Me, Alexa, and Michaela. Michaela texted. She's like, guys, if I come over, I'm just going to be staring at you. I have no voice.
Yeah. Like, it was nothing. It was like 15 words and then silence.
Jeez.
So
I did find the image of you just like staring at us while we talked hilarious. I was like, honestly, that would be funny.
Yeah.
Just for fun. But I'm like, yeah, they would just be weird.
It would have been funny, but it's just those things I'm like, I'm tired. And it's like,
yeah,
I just need to sleep and try to get better, right? But
yeah, exactly.
I thought about it too. I'm like, yeah, I could just show up and just
and just be there.
Sit there in silence.
Yeah.
Play like Siri, have talk text, everything.
Type to text or whatever.
Yeah, bring a whiteboard.
Like, we'd have completely moved on conversation because like, I finally wrote my sentence.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
So bad. Well. Any catch-up stuff? For you?
I went to Mexico.
How was that?
It was so fun, and I didn't even get burned.
Hey.
I did go through almost an entire bottle of 50 SPF sunscreen, though.
Yep.
But I got a good tan for me.
Yeah.
So I feel pretty good. I'm still lighter than both of them when we went there.
Yeah.
But I'm really tan for me.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
It's really good.
And then my computer died, so I'm using Bryce's. So hopefully it works.
Oh, fun.
Yay.
We love that.
Yay. My emotional support laptop died.
I move on.
Yeah.
It's a transitional period.
So sad. Oh, well. It has all my favorite stickers on it, which is kind of mostly what I'm upset about.
Oh, no.
But I can just buy more.
Yeah. Just keep the laptop as like a memorial.
I know. I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. I can't get rid of it.
Yeah. It's weird.
What do you do with broken computers? Like, where do you take them?
Back to Apple.
And just be like, I don't want it
just
anymore.
Scrapped.
Yeah, like.
Sometimes they'll give credit. Sometimes they'll give cash. Depending on how old. But it's going to be like $100.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's 2013.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. Because, it would be nice to. I'm like. Even with, like, old phones, I'm like, I don't know what to do with them, so I just have them, but it's like, I'm never going to use them again. Like, there's a reason I got a new phone, but I don't know where to take them or put them.
Yeah.
But,
whatever. I didn't switch in my last phone for my new one.
Yeah.
Because it was only, like, worth, like, $100.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not dead. I just want a new phone.
Yeah, exactly.
It has minimal storage, so I'm just going to use it like an iPod.
Yeah.
Just have. I use it as the remote when I do my self-portraits now.
Oh, nice.
So I don't have to, like, kill my own phone. I can use that one.
That's smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I got my phone, I wanted to do, because TELUS has, like, you rent the phone for 2 years kind of thing. Like, it's cheaper, and then when the 2 years are done, you, like, give the phone back or whatever. And I was like, I wanted to do that, but apparently I didn't have good enough credit or any credit when I did that. And they were like, no, you have to buy the phone. I was like,
weird.
Okay. If I don't have good credit, what makes you think I can afford a $1,600 phone? Like, thanks.
That's so kind of you.
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
That's me mostly.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Sounds really good.
It's been
Sounds
great.
like a blast.
Yeah, so much fun.
Sounds like you're doing better than me though, honestly.
I do have my voice, yeah.
Yeah.
I am feeling like I've been like pushing off a sickness for like months. Like I can kind of feel it, but I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope,
not again.
Go away. I kind of like right before Mexico, I was like so worried that I was just going to get so sick and just be like dead the whole trip.
That would have sucked.
Right. But I didn't.
That's good.
So I was like, woohoo. I did try, my stomach did get a little bit queasy for the last half of the trip because I tried this like shrimp stew kind of thing. But it smelled and it tasted like the inside of the sheep barn at the farm, which is sheep poo and rotten hay.
Why did you finish it or no?
No,
okay,
no.
Like, dirty.
No, I like smelled it and I was like, ugh, gross. And then I was like, maybe it just smells bad. Like maybe the taste isn't that bad.
Yeah.
It was definitely just as bad. It was so gross. And that was all I could taste for the next like 12 hours.
Oh no.
And I was like, this is awesome.
Oh no.
But yeah, and then my tummy was just a little bit upset after that.
Naturally.
Yeah, as it should be.
With some sketchy food.
Yeah. Well, not really. It was just like new food that I haven't eaten. Like they had a lot of like different themed restaurants on the resort. So there'd be like, this one was like Mexican and this one was Japanese and this one was barbecue and this one was Italian or whatever. But it was like, the Mexican was the grossest. That's where I had the shrimp stew, which was devastating because it should have been so good.
Yeah.
The Japanese was pretty good. The Italian was the best, but that was like the most normal. Like I ordered what I would have eaten at home.
Oh yeah, normal to you.
It was normal to me, yeah. And the barbecue was good. It was just really bland, which is weird to say as a white person in a country that uses spices.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. But hey, all-inclusive life is the life for me. I was a big fan because I'd never been to an all-inclusive before. Oh, okay. And so when Bryce was driving me to the airport, he was like, I was like, is there anything that I need to like know? Like, what am I walking into? Is there anything I need to bring? Like anything, whatever. And he's like, it's going to be a little bit weird for you to like get used to not paying for anything. Like going up to them and be like, can I get this? And then they just like have to give it to you. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I loved that part because the worst part of a meal for me is like stressing over how much it costs or whatever. So being able to be like, okay, I'm going to get like 3 burgers in a row because I'm hungry and that's what I want. And it's not going to cost me $60 or whatever. So I was like, that's kind of nice. Wow. And there was a coffee shop on the resort. Oh, fun. I was like, sick. Oh, that's really fun. Yeah. So that was super fun. But I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah. The week while you were gone, I slept, drank tea and soup. Yeah, because you were really sick, weren't you? Yeah. That's fun. Yeah. Yeah. It's been great. Thriving. I'm absolutely thriving. Can't you tell? Yes. You look good. So at least you have that. Thank you. Appreciate it. And at least you can laugh and not like get into a coughing fit like when we were recording in November or December. When I had no voice then. That was a bad one. That was a bad one. Yeah. Oh well. I don't know what this whole like almost being 25 thing and having laryngitis is. I've never had laryngitis like so bad. They're just checking off your bucket list. No, I've had it like twice within 6 months. Okay, I didn't tell you this. Yes, I did. I went parasailing in Mexico. Bucket list just made me think of that. Oh shit. It was so fun. You didn't tell me that. Yeah. You didn't? Oh, that's fun. It was so much fun. It was so cool because it's always been on my bucket list, but I've never been in a place where you can do it. Yeah. And they had like parasailing people on the beach. I don't know why that surprises me that that was your bucket list item. Oh yeah, everyone thought I was crazy. They're like, I didn't think you'd actually want to do that. No. And I was like, that doesn't seem like a journey. Not at all. But now I think I can skydive because I was in a parachute just kind of floating, and I was like, this is kind of fun. And it took away all the fear of like falling.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if I fall, I'm just going to slowly descend to the ground.
Plus, when you go skydiving, the fall part is like 15 seconds and it goes by so fast.
So I'm like, that's sick.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Wow.
Yeah. It was so cool.
So fun.
So fun. Because I'm a big girl.
Mm-hmm.
No one wanted to go with me, but that's okay.
Two things then. You can do things on your own.
Mm-hmm. And I've parasailed.
Yeah. There you go.
So I was like, it was so fun.
I'm stoked for you.
It was so good. They're like, do you want to bring your phone up? And I was like, no, I do not.
I'm going to drop it.
I was like, because he had like a phone bag thing or whatever that you can like wear as a lanyard or whatever. He's like, I'll give you this, right? And I was like, no, I do not trust myself even with that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to try this first, and then if it goes well, I'll come back next year and I'll bring my phone. Like, yeah, it was awesome.
So fun.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, so we'll get into it.
Yeah.
I feel like we've blabbed enough. Can you tell Jordan and I haven't seen each other for 3 weeks?
Literally, I was getting nervous. I was like, oh my goodness, I haven't seen Michaela in so long. Exactly. What if she all of a sudden hates me?
Yeah. That's exactly it. She canceled last week.
Literally. Does that mean she doesn't like me?
All right. So, like, what do we mean by the power of words? So, in university, I was learning about, again, word psychology, and people talked about that, but it's not really like a set field of study. So you can't really tell like with who originated power of words.
Yeah, I couldn't find that because I would Google like word psychology, and it was just like giving me the definition of psychology and like where the word psychology came from, and I was like, this is not what I want.
Exactly. And so where I was kind of coming from with all of this is a study that I learned about from a Japanese scientist named Masaru Emoto. And so he was a psychologist who did this like vibration of words and how words have meaning into plants, ice, and also on rice. He did another experiment.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. And so the plant psychology comes from the fact of like there's plants in two different settings. One was growing in a negative environment. It was like cursed while growing. It's like, you suck, you're awful, you're not going to amount to anything.
Right.
And the second one was grown in like a positive environment where it's praised, right? You're doing so good, you look so beautiful, da 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 da.
Yeah.
And there was like different like growth parameters that were measured, including like the germination rate, plant height, and leaf size. And plants under the influence of positive words had a higher germination rate, and these plants grew taller, larger, healthier than in the negative environment.
That's so weird to think about.
It is. And the whole concept of it is like kids are like plants, right? Mm-hmm. Kids that grow up in a negative environment are more likely to have like learning problems and developmental issues. And
right.
So that's kind of where psychologists took it.
Yeah.
So Dr. Emoto also did this with ice, right? And so he did it by, I guess, speaking into water. Okay. And that's what the whole, like, on TikTok now, people are, like, speak into the water bottle for what you want. And
yeah.
Then it goes to, like, Meg Thee Stallion, like, body crazy, curvy, wavy, big titties, little waist.
Yeah.
So people are, like, doing that. Or people just yell big old titties into a water bottle. Have you seen those ones?
Yeah. They're just funny to think about out of context.
It's so funny. And so that comes from, like, Dr. Emoto, like, the premise behind this, like, ice experiment.
Right.
And so same kind of thing as the plants. One body of water was like praised, and the other one was you suck.
Right.
And so what's the word I'm looking for? Power is not in my brain right now. The design of ice, of like the positive water was beautiful. It created like very pretty snowflakes and whatnot. Cool. Whereas the ice that was spoken badly about, it looked dismembered and almost like evil.
Oh, weird. Because I was wondering how words can affect like ice formation.
Yeah.
Right? But that's really interesting.
And it's the second study on water, it shows how water stores memory. So then there's actually...
Yeah, water having memory is the weirdest thing to think about.
Yeah. But again, if water has memory, and this all comes into like affirmations and stuff later, we are 70% water.
Yeah.
And so if we're speaking bad things into water, and it's storing and it's lingering, it's just the whole energetic chi. I don't know, we're all about energy right now.
Yeah. Our Apple vibration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. All of it.
Yeah.
It comes from that.
That's cool.
For his third experiment, he did the same thing. He put cooked white rice into 2 jars.
Okay.
And one jar he opened up and said, thank you. And the other one said, you fool.
Oh.
And the one that was said, you fool, after 30 days, was like this shriveled into a black gelatinous mass.
Really?
Whereas the white rice was perfectly fine.
What the heck?
Yeah. Cooked white rice in a jar.
Excuse me, that is weird.
You would think it'd be moldy regardless.
Yeah, literally.
But
like after 30 days, it should be moldy.
But apparently it was fine.
Oh my goodness, I'm going to talk nicely to all of my leftovers.
So that's what this whole, that's funny. No, but that's where also the whole premise of like gratitude before you consume a meal.
Mm-hmm.
Thanking your food before you consuming it.
Kind of like saying grace, but like not necessarily to God, but to like your food.
But even saying grace. You're saying it to God, but you're expressing gratitude, and it's just the energy, the vibration of.
Oh my goodness, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
It's supposed to make everything super happy.
Bryce is not going to love that. I'm going to be like, we have to give thanks for our food because it will make it better.
Well, it's supposed to be, the hypothesis is that it's supposed to be more nourishing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If plants can grow better, if ice freezes prettier.
Yeah.
And if rice lasts longer.
That's so cool.
So Dr. Emoto really opened the door to all of that. Yeah. And so that's where, like, and I've seen lots of people, mindset, inspirational people on TikTok. Yeah. You say that in your words, right? So even if your friend says something really funny and you're like, oh, I'm dead. Yeah. You shouldn't say that. You should say, like, I'm living for that. Yeah. It has the same meaning in that context. Yeah. But it's a positive word versus a negative.
Yeah, I saw a TikTok that uses pretty much that same example, but I didn't watch it at the time, and I cannot find it anywhere. Yeah. And I was like, shoot, because we hadn't had Power of Words, like, ready to prep yet, so I wasn't thinking about it. Yeah. I was like, shoot, that would have been really interesting.
I might have something like that saved. I think I did the same thing. Mm-hmm. It might be the same one. Who knows? But yeah, it's the whole just expressing your life in a more positive way and being more grateful for the things that surround you.
Yeah. Well, and I find, like, I was listening to another podcast a really long time ago, and they were talking about kind of the same thing, where instead of saying, like, oh, I can't wait for that, and kind of, like, wishing away what's happening now because you're so excited about the future. Yeah. Instead of, like, in order to be more present in what's happening now, is being like, oh, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. I'm excited for when, right? Yeah. And so you're still living in the moment. You're still grateful for whatever's happening now, but you're also excited for the future, right? Yeah. And so I started doing that instead of being like, oh, I can't wait for kids. Oh, I can't wait to be married. It's like, I'm really excited for when that becomes a possibility kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, which I think is pretty neat.
Yeah. So then this kind of got, from this whole concept, because again, I learned about these plant and ice studies in second year university, I think, is when I first started talking about it. So it's just been on the back burner of my brain. And so now I'm studying mind, body, spirit, right? And it's like, oh no, there's
reasons for
people
this.
People are putting a lot of emphasis on this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So why? So can words affect your brain?
100%, yeah. 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 So there's a study done in 2019 that actually found that pain-related and negative words increase the intensity of pain compared to, like, using neutral language, which is bonkers. And so these pain-related words created stronger responses in many areas of the brain, including the anterior cingulate cortex, which is responsible for, like, your emotional expression, your attention, and mood regulation, as well as the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, which is in charge of just, like, general executive control functions. And so by using the negative words, you were causing the brain to release stress and anxiety-inducing hormones, which, as we've talked about in many other episodes, can wreak havoc on your body. Yeah. And so like negative words spoken, thought, or heard. That's what that's supposed to be. It just says head. And I'm like
spoken, thought, or head.
All right. Okay, negative words spoken, thought, or heard cause situational stress and contribute to long-term anxiety. So overall, using negative words cause issues.
And it's like, I mean, again, when you think about the same thing, like I said earlier, kids are plants, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you tell a kid, like, oh, you did so good, or it's like, oh, why didn't you do better?
Yeah.
How much power does that, like, hold? And how much do you, like, take that into emotion, right? And
yeah, and it creates their own self-talk. Like, if they're constantly being told, oh, you could have done better, oh, you're nothing, like, oh, you're so bad at that, that's what their brain is going to tell them forever.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's like, and there's the whole sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
Words can freaking hurt.
Words hurt.
Especially if you put whole emphasis on it, right? And that's the whole premise of psychology is like changing how you perceive things or how things affect you, right?
Yeah.
But until you learn those habits,
literally,
words and feeling stressed out fully wreak havoc on your body because your body is so animalistic. It doesn't really know what's going on. Your brain doesn't really know what's going on.
Exactly.
It's just going through the motions of survival.
Well, and even if your love language is words of affirmation, the negative words are then going to hold so much more like negative meaning, right? Like they're going to like just break you down more so than they would if someone whose love language wasn't words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like.
Exactly.
Yeah. Not good.
Yeah. So long story short, like using encouraging words can help you overcome fears, right?
So cool.
We're gonna walk you through it.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, we can solve this problem together. Let's talk through it.
Think about it. Yeah. Like you got this.
Yeah. Which I cherish my friend. They're really good at that with their daughter.
Yeah.
Like she's very young and she's right now going through this whole thing of like, I can't.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, no, you can.
You can.
And even now, like when I see her, she does this thing like, Auntie Mac, I can't. I'm like, no,
you can.
You've got it.
Yeah.
You just did it.
Yeah.
I know you can do it. I've seen you do it before.
Yeah.
I'll help you through it, but you can do this.
Yeah. Well, when we were younger, we the three of us were in a karate class for a while. And so their thing is like never ever give up. They had like a whole like mantra kind of thing. And so my dad really tried to make the words I can't and I give up like bad words that we do not say in our house.
Yeah.
Because you can. Yeah. And like don't ever give up kind of thing. Which feels silly, but it works, right? Like
yeah. Well, it's the whole premise of like shifting your brain around it. Right?
Yeah, you actually have to like change your brain and how it works, which is weird.
And so if these tones of words have vibrations that are having physical molecular effects, it makes sense.
I have such a hard time, like even when I was researching this, like wrapping my mind around words having vibration because it sounds so cuckoo, even though words are literally vibrations.
It's your vocal cords. It's humming or not humming against each other.
It's literally vibration, but it's so weird that they can like impact you so heavily.
Well, it's the same thing as like sound healing.
Oh.
Right? Like different frequencies and stuff with sound healing.
That's true, like sound baths and stuff.
Yeah. Your voice is a version of that. And you can go om. That's why when you're meditating, you go om. And you hit that note.
I just remembered. Sorry. When we went to Carmen and she was doing like the crystal bowl and then she like to help us like release or whatever, she did like om or like some sort of like scream sounding thing into like the small like our low back. It was shocking. It was very surprising and both of us were trying really hard not to get the giggles because it kind of just caught us off guard.
Well, because I was first and so she did it to me first.
And I was really glad we didn't make eye contact.
Yeah, well, how could I?
Yeah. I was like, ooh, okay, yeah, sorry, that just made me think of that.
Yeah. But that's, again, it's the same premise of that, right?
Yeah, is using the vibration to loosen up the whatever we are holding in our backs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The chi, the energy, the...
Yeah, the tension, the whatever.
If someone could just, like, yell into my throat right now, that would be really fantastic.
Imagine Bryce comes home and I'm just like, oh, like into your neck. Oh, you're like, Journey.
That's enough. Off to the insane asylum.
This is a boundary.
We're done.
This is you can. I don't want to come home and see this.
I don't want you to yell "om" into your friend's neck to try to help fix her laryngitis.
Looks funny. I'll let you do whatever holistic crap you want to do. That's too far. I don't like it. Got no issue with anything else. That crosses the line.
That's hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
And so, so positive words and optimistic words, they stimulate your frontal lobe activity.
Mm-hmm.
And so this includes like specific language centers that connect directly to the motor cortex responsible for moving you into action. Right? And so it's like the whole I can't, but you can.
You can, yeah.
And but you can take steps and you can actively do something towards it.
Yeah, exactly.
There is actually a study by Newberg and Waldman that have shown that the longer you say these positive words, it actually affects like the neurons in your brain and different areas of your brain and just how it functions overall.
Yeah, it completely like changes your perception of yourself and your others. And they wrote a book about it called Words Can Change Your Brain, which I think would be really interesting to read.
Yeah, we'll definitely add it to our list. Our list of like 45 books that we have.
We're going to need to do like 4 books a month just to get through that list.
Yeah, or we have a really long-term book club and we have a library at the end of it.
I know, but every episode we come up with like 3 more books to add.
Listen, Michaela, I hear you.
But yeah, so like we kind of said, words do hold vibration and power. There are some words that are very like high vibrational words and you can use them
like apples,
very high vibrational word. So you can use them to attract positive energy. But like if you use words like happy and joyful and like wishful and like all of those, they tend to carry like a more positive connotation than if we like
the word is in your language. Because it's different, right? But,
it's different. But instead of using like death, dying, sadness, doom, gloom,
the energy
despair
around the word.
Yeah, definitely.
How many times? Take a shot every time we say energy or word.
Literally.
Jeez.
And so, yeah, words can also influence the experience of physical pain, which I find really interesting. And, like, for me with that, I kind of, like, I use them almost as, like, a distraction.
Okay.
Instead of, like, saying, oh, this doesn't hurt me.
Well, that's the whole, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm okay. It's whatever. Yeah. I just, like, I guess I think about something else to, like, distract me from the physical pain or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the terms of like sticks and stones might break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Words can cause harm. If we think about like verbal abuse, bullying, even like word choice by like medical professionals can kind of cause emotional distress.
Well, and you see that in placebo or nocebo effect, right? If you get a cancer diagnosis and it's like, oh yeah, like that's it, like say your goodbyes now. And so people are like, no, screw that. I don't believe it. Yeah. They last. Like, they live so much longer.
They do tend to live longer, yeah.
It's all mental around it. And that, again, could be placebo, nocebo.
Yeah. Well, even, whatever. Like, there was an article from 2018 that was kind of, like, written to suggest to doctors to use different words when they're talking about, like, common conditions in order to help, like, facilitate in recovery. And so some examples were, like, using the term normal age changes instead of chronic degenerative changes. Yeah. Which is like, those are big words. Like if we just say normal age changes, that's way less scary and way less doom and gloom. And it's easier to understand as a layperson who hasn't gone to medical school. Yeah. And then the other one was like, you need more strength and control instead of instability, kind of. Okay. Just like less harsher words. Yeah. But
well, there's a lot of that coming up with motivational interviewing. Okay. That's a newer term that is happening in like medical or health and wellness industries as a whole. And it's essentially to become less like, you should do this, and have it be like, why do you want to change?
Right.
It's basically bringing like therapist talk into normal professions.
Right.
And specifically around health and wellness, right? People who are seeking out help in health and wellness.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
I just completed my motivational interviewing course for
that's fun.
for my program right now. But the whole premise is like give the client autonomy.
Right.
So someone says like, "Oh, I have pain."
Yeah.
And we're hearing these like, stories 100 times over where doctors are like, "No, it's not that bad."
Mm-hmm.
Like, "Oh, it's just a sliver. It's not that bad."
Right.
But it could be a blood clot.
Literally.
And so,
well, that was like today. I've been having a lot of like almost like intestinal abdominal, just like abdominal snowman. I can't say abdominal without it sounding like abdominable snowman or whatever. I struggle with those words. But I was like freaking out because it's also like in my back, and I feel like it's just like a pulled muscle, and then like my bowels are still like adjusting to regular food.
Yeah.
And so I went in and I was like, this is just weird. It's uncomfortable. I don't know what's going on. Like, and she's like, oh, like, I really can't give you anything. Like, I don't know. Yeah. And I was like, there's nothing. You have no idea. Yeah. She's like, I don't know if it's a pulled muscle. I don't know if it's bowel. I'm like, is it appendicitis? And she was like, no, because that's just a localized region. I'm like, okay, great. Like, is it like an ovary cyst that's going to rupture or whatever? And she's like, no, because when I pressed on where your ovaries were, you didn't say it was sensitive. Yeah. And I was like, okay, thank you. Yeah. Like, yeah, but, okay, that's fun.
But yeah, a lot of it is coming from like that. And the reason that I'm learning about it, right, is because if people come to me for nutritional advice or education, I can say, eat your greens and sleep and meditate all I want. Yeah. But if the person doesn't want to do anything about it, they're not going to do anything about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing with therapy. If you have a mental illness and you don't want help from anyone, a therapist isn't going to help you.
They're not going to do anything. Yeah.
Right? You go to a doctor and you have these like mindsets that they don't know anything and blah, 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 I know best. Yeah. You're not going to get help.
Exactly.
And so that's the whole premise of motivational interviewing, is to allow people to be less dismissive of the people they're seeking help from.
Right.
And be more autonomous in their health, healing, wellness journey.
Nice.
And just using the physician, nutritionist, dietitian, chiropractor, massage therapist, whoever you want, whoever you're going to, as like just like a textbook, like an information source. A person who has done the studying, but can't fix your body if you don't want to fix your own body.
Exactly.
So
yeah, I feel like that's something where like everyone wants something to complain about. Yeah. That if there is like a clear solution to what's going on, they're going to be like, well, no, because then I have nothing to complain about. Yeah. Like, what am I going to do if I'm fixed?
Exactly.
Like,
right?
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah. And you see a lot of people in like, well, and this kind of comes with power of words too. I had a friend I went to see her in February 2020. And at that time, I was really bad. Like, I hadn't gotten into fitness yet. I got into fitness again in March 2020. Right. And so I was just like really low, not liking my life. Yeah. A little bit depressed, and then fucking COVID hit. Yeah. And I was like, wow, okay.
That did wonders for the old mental health.
Good. Yeah, exactly. But I said something about my body, how I look like a beat. Oh, I'm like, I don't like this photo of me. I look like a whale. Something like that. I said something along those lines. Yeah. And she said, you stop that right now. Yeah. And it took me by surprise. I was like, what the fuck do you mean?
Yeah, okay.
I can talk about myself any way I want. And she's like, no, if any other person said that about you, I would have shut them down. I'm doing the same for you.
I love that.
It was really, it was like a shocking, like, I can say what I want. Like, what do you mean?
But that's such a good way to put that, is like, if you wouldn't want other people saying this about you, then don't say it about yourself.
Yeah. Like, think of yourself as if you were a friend.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Putting it into that context, it's got me thinking. It really did. It shifted my mind. It was like very kind of like, you can't tell me what to do. Yeah. And then it's like, no, I'm just being a whiny bitch. Like, I should actually do something about this.
Oh yeah.
Right? And talking negative about myself for years and years and years isn't going to solve my issues.
Exactly.
And so March I got into fitness, and then April the world shut down, and I was like, well, okay,
great, on the turntables.
fantastic.
That's what we love to see.
Now I'm motivated to go to the gym, and I can't.
Yeah, finally getting my shit together.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's like kind of the next point I have on here is like your choice of language. I think I missed some words. Your choice of language kind of can impact how another person feels and how they perceive the events around them.
Mm-hmm.
So people attach certain perceptions with certain words, even if that term is like quote unquote neutral.
Yeah.
And so there was a study done where like an unclear medical outcome was perceived as negative when the word caused was used, like this was caused by this, instead of it was produced by this. So it was just kind of like switching. Yeah. And like language plays such a huge role in all of our human interactions. So if we use more positive language, we can reduce conflict, improve communication, increase optimism in others, and portray yourself as like credible and respectable. Yeah. And just, create more good feelings.
And so no wonder people are so sensitive. I'm going to sound like a fucking senior citizen when I say that.
Back in my day, kids weren't so sensitive. Oh, yeah. Them fucking snowflakes.
Hear me out. With everyone having such fear of communication, and everything is digital and everything is text. Yeah. You are perceiving those words without any tone.
Yes. Tone is huge.
So there's no human connection. Yeah. This goes back to the whole, when you're like, you see a period, you're like, pissed.
Yes. I like the miscommunications that happen like over text for me are like so often and so huge over just like little things. Yeah. Like I really have to work to be like, they're not mad at me. Why do I think they're mad at me? It's
if you
just
have
a sentence.
Conversation with that same person. It's fine. And you can even double it into like with facial expressions, for example. Like my voice tends to be very like straight. Yeah. Very
monotone. I wouldn't say monotone.
Not monotone.
Yeah.
Just direct. Like very like to the point. Yeah. Where sometimes it can be abrasive. Yeah. Right. And so on the phone, if I'm processing something, I go quiet. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I do the same thing.
And if that person didn't see my face, they could think like, oh, she's over this conversation.
She's shutting down. Yeah.
She doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
And I had to actively think about that when I was on the phone planning for my friend's bachelorette party. Yeah. We were on the phone talking about her ideas, and I was like processing them. And I had to like step outside my body for a second and be like, Kayla, fix your voice. Yeah. Like,
yeah. Because I've noticed that like if I say something that I'm like nervous about saying, and then the other person is silent because most often they're processing, and usually that's what happened to me is like if someone says something and I'm like, I need to think about it, I need to process it, I need to fully understand what's going on before I can reply. Yeah. But if they're silent to me, I freak out. And I'm like, this conversation is done. They don't want to hear from me. Yeah. We're over, like, see you never kind of thing. Yeah. Like, I go full doom and I'm like, they're probably just processing. Like, that's what I would do. Yeah.
And so that's where the whole, like, when I was saying earlier, like, language is, like, so separate from all of this, right? But it's the energy, the tone around these words. Yeah. That is what's truly making the impact.
Literally.
And so when you're having a conversation face to face with someone, you get such a different experience than you have that same conversation over text. Yeah. And there's no emojis. Yeah. Just punctuation.
Well,
text.
And even like Bryce and I, we're talking about how we need to communicate better. And so, because your girl doesn't communicate.
But you wouldn't know that on the podcast. We can communicate everything.
I can communicate pretty good behind the screen. But like, I'm so scared of confrontation. But it's like, Bryce is like, sometimes you need to tell me to just like fuck off. Like, stand up for yourself. Say it like you're fine. Yeah. And so then we like, whatever, we worked it out. And then it was like, okay, now tell me to fuck off. And I was like, I don't want to. I was like, no, I love you. And he was like, no, fuck off. And I was like, no, I'm not finishing a fight by saying fuck off. Yeah. I was like, no, I would be saying I love you. He's like, well, sometimes they mean the same thing. And I was like, the words are different. Yeah. Fuck off does not mean I love you. Yeah. I do not hear I love you when you say that. Like, you need to say I love you and then I can tell you to fuck off. Like, if that's how this works. Yeah. But I need to hear I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, I was like, what perfect timing for the power of words. Like, that's exactly it. Like, yes, that might mean whatever for you.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm not hearing I love you.
Yeah.
Those words don't mean that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, no, we cannot use that. But I can't really go into like the vibration of those words. I mean, like turning her on crack.
Well, actually.
So I was reading about the vibration of apples, and it told me that word is a negative vibration.
But I get where Bryce is coming from for like real life terms, right? Because
yeah,
he is. I mean, I don't think it's the same thing, but you do need to stand up for yourself. And be
100%.
Like, not now. Like, yeah, you got to give me a beat. Like, I'm gonna crack otherwise.
Exactly, and just like, yeah, no, I get it. I do need to do that, but I don't know if it's because I don't curse a lot that like I attach like a stronger meaning to them.
Very much so, probably. Because
whereas like he's blue collar, they just scream curse words all day at work.
Yeah.
So it's like he's detached from them, or whatever. Like,
well, I can see that because even like the way I communicate with some people in my life, it threw you off guard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we were just swearing at your parents, and I was like, oh,
and that sounds worse than it was. It sounds worse than.
But you weren't like, fuck you, mom. It was just like in a conversation. Yeah. They were just words.
Yeah,
right?
You guys said fuck off or something like that.
Yeah.
Like someone made a stupid joke, and I was like, oh, fuck off.
Well, even your mom said it, and I was like, what am I witnessing?
Yeah. And that threw you like.
It really did, yeah.
Remember, we don't curse like sailors or anything, but
no,
it's just it's a normal. It's just a word.
Yeah, they were just words, but they were given the negative connotation throughout my growing up. So now they're bad words.
Yeah,
and so yeah,
very
interesting.
Yeah,
but you can even like relate this almost back to like relationship with food, where there's like. They're trying to get rid of the like good versus bad food and like getting rid of like the good versus bad words. Like they're just words, or like it's just food. Like you need it to live.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's the balance I'm trying to struggle with right now. Like I'm trying to. No, I am struggling with.
I want to struggle with this.
I'm actively seeking out to struggle with this.
My life is too easy. I need to struggle.
Yeah.
Said no one ever.
No, but in studying holistic nutrition, right? You learn about that these food vibrations are good, these ones are bad, but how do you not say good or bad?
Yes.
How do you say food is just food and you need to eat it anyways?
Yeah.
However, if you have the choice, don't go fries, go like carrots.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you do that without creating that good versus bad?
It's such a weird balance. But it's a balance, right?
Yeah.
As we know, like we can just end the podcast here. We don't even make it to September.
Yeah.
Balance. Vibration.
If you've gotten anything from the last month of episodes, it's balance, energy, vibrations.
We promise when we plan, we'll switch it up a bit more.
We'll be a little bit more out of the box.
Yeah.
But something I feel like we need to touch on in this episode that we've been dancing around is like the power of affirmations.
Yeah.
Because those have really like...
Those have skyrocketed.
Yeah. They've kind of like taken the world by storm.
Yeah. And again, that can be something you're like, oh, this is BS, or oh, this is changing my life.
Yeah. Which I'm kind of... I struggle so hard with seriously saying an affirmation to my face in the mirror.
Yeah.
Because I'm like... This is stupid.
But like,
why
I can
do
just
we struggle? Think it. Yeah, right?
Why is it a struggle? Is it conditioning, so to speak?
Yeah.
Right? Is it constantly being told that you should hate yourself because of XYZ? And so now it just feels weird.
Yeah.
But in psychology, that's literally what like cognitive behavioral therapy does.
Literally.
Is like affirmations.
Yeah.
Not I'm loved, I'm worthy necessarily, but like I can do this. Like
yeah. We do so much with affirmations, like even in the movie The Help.
Yeah.
What is it like? I am strong, I am loved.
You was kind, you was smart, you was important.
Yeah. It's like that's affirmations. Those are things that people need to hear so that they develop that positive voice in their head that's telling them, yes, I can do this. Yes, it's scary.
Yeah.
But I can do it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
But yeah, I agree because I feel like pathetic.
Yeah.
When I say it. Like,
well, it's almost like I get secondhand embarrassment
exactly.
from myself.
Exactly.
But I feel like I've heard so many good things and I believe that they could do that, but I don't have the confidence.
Well, that's why I think I like symbols better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, that's a symbol of like, okay, yeah, you're on the right path. Like, you're good.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, you're okay. Like, keep going. Like, when I see, again, angel numbers. That's why I hold value for angel numbers so much.
It's just like another form of a positive affirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without me having to sit in the mirror being like, I know what I'm doing.
Speaking of angel numbers, Bryce and I did an escape room for our anniversary, and the total came to 6660.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, I don't think we could do this anymore. But luckily, they were just rounding up because the actual total was 6659. That's what they actually charged me. And I was like, thank goodness. I was about to be real afraid about being locked in a room when I paid $66.60 to get locked in there. But yeah, we survived, so that's good.
But yeah, back to affirmations.
Yeah. So there's a self-affirmation theory from 1988, which is like the key psychological theory behind positive self-affirmations. And so there's 3 ideas within that theory that kind of help us understand how affirmations work. And so the first is that through self-affirmations, we keep up a global narrative about ourselves, which contributes to our self-identity. So basically, our self-identity is flexible, and it allows us to see ourselves in many different lights, which helps us think positively about all the different aspects of us and helps us to adapt to new and different situations better. So it's kind of the like, I can do this.
Yeah.
You create the identity of like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
The second is that self-affirmation theory argues that maintaining self-identity is not about being like exceptional, perfect, or excellent. We just need to be competent and adequate in the areas that we personally value.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to be competent and adequate in areas that you value.
Yeah.
I just need to be competent and adequate in the areas that I value.
Yeah.
In order to be moral, flexible, and good by my own definition. Kind of thing. So it's like making sure you're prioritizing what's important to you. And the third is that we maintain self-integrity by acting authentically instead of searching for praise.
Yeah.
And so the example that was given with this one was saying the affirmation, I am a responsible godmother, not because we want to be praised for being a responsible godmother, but because we kind of want to be, like, I want to be a responsible godmother. So by saying that I am, I will then, like, a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which makes sense. And there's actually MRI evidence suggesting that there are certain neural pathways that are increased when people practice self-affirmations, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole, like, you're stimulating your brain in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And again, cognitive behavioral therapy does that for personality shifts.
Yeah.
For the same reason. You're getting out of this, like, for depression, for example.
Yeah.
Low vibration, low stimulation in the brain.
Yeah.
To, like, actually bringing in, like, activity and lighting it up and
using it.
Using your
like
neurons.
stimulation.
And,
yeah.
Making everything more exciting and perceiving life to be more exciting.
Yeah. I added cognitive restructuring to our topic list because so much of what we've talked about kind of relates back to, like, actually restructuring the way you think.
Yeah.
Which is sick nar.
Valley.
Every episode. Do you want to tell us about some benefits of daily affirmations? Or do you want me to just go for it so you have a voice?
I'm going to say my voice. You can go for this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some benefits are that they've been shown to decrease health deteriorating stress, which is basically just stress because any stress will cause your health to deteriorate.
Yep.
They've been used effectively in interventions that led people to increase their physical behavior. I didn't fully understand that, but I feel like it's more of like you saying, oh, I look like a whale, and then they'd be like, no, don't, and then you started working out because you realized
because I wanted to work out, not because I thought myself as a whale.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They help us perceive otherwise threatening messages with less resistance and defensiveness. So by saying like, oh, I'm good, blah, 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 whatever, your self-talk is better so that when you are perceived with a threatening situation, you have the confirmation to stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
Confirmation? Confidence.
I mean, confirmation could work.
Definitely not the
You're
word
like,
I meant to say.
I confirm that I can stand up for myself.
I can, for sure.
Yeah.
So we're also more likely to respond to health messages with the intention to change for the better. So by thinking positively about whatever, like, oh, my body is strong, I can get through this, like,
Yeah.
That line of thinking.
Well, it's shifting out of imposter syndrome into doing it like, oh, I don't know, I'm a fraud, I don't know my work.
Exactly.
It's like, I've studied 4 years of this. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. It's been positively linked to academic achievement, which is the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
It has lowered stress and rumination, which I feel like has been mentioned already. And then it makes us feel more resilient to difficulties when they arise because we believe in ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so kind of the only kind of affirmations that I've ever really practiced are like healing health affirmations because, which is weird for me, hey?
I wouldn't, based on how you talk about health, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
But when I was younger and I would get the flu or whatever, my dad would always come down and would talk to me and be like, tell yourself like your body is strong. Like you're not sick, you're healthy, you can get through this, like trick your body into thinking you're fine. Yeah. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fun. So now whenever I'm like, feel like I'm getting sick, I'm like, I'm not sick, I'm healthy, I'm strong, I can get through this, I don't need to throw up.
Yeah.
I did that a lot at work.
Yeah.
Be like, no, I'm fine, I'm strong, I'm healthy, I'm good.
Well, I've done that before where I'm like, I feel like I mentally push off any form of illness. Like, I don't got time for this right now. Like, no, I gotta get through this first. Like, that's...
Exactly.
That sucks, immune system. You better power through a little bit more.
You gotta do this. But then I find like, excuse me, I don't really find like while I'm saying that any noticeable change. But I know that as soon as I say, oh, I am sick, I get so sick.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I admit it, it hits me like a truck.
Yeah. Well, and that's what happened. Yeah. It's what happens too with like, we're talking the placebo versus nocebo. I guess I didn't really define that. Placebo is like you're given a fake pill and it heals you.
Yeah.
And nocebo is the same thing. You're given this pill and it's like you're going to get cancer from taking this. And they actually do get cancer from taking it.
Wow.
And it's like the whole perception of it and whatever you perceive it to happen happens. And so with words, and I was saying earlier, like you get this horrible diagnosis.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I've got another 15 years in me.
Yeah.
And that person lasts 15 years.
That's crazy.
Because their mind's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to listen to that. So that's the whole phenomenon of energy, I guess, that people are debating.
Yeah.
And there is actually a medical doctor in the UK, I cannot remember where, who heals with placebo.
Oh, that's cool.
They go to him knowing that they're going to get a sugar pill.
Yeah.
But it heals everyone.
Well, it tricks them just enough into believing that they can do it,
well,
right?
Well, it's emotions. You're taking this pill. I'm going to be better when I take this.
Yeah.
They don't care if it's medicinal or not. It's literally a sugar pill, and it's like the value they hold on that heals them.
Yeah, no kidding.
I have, I'll find it. I have to figure out which article it is again. But I have my medical anthropology textbook, and it has it's chock full of studies like that. I love it. Medical anthropology was so exciting to learn about.
So interesting.
Because especially, placebo, nocebo, I love the whole concept of it.
Yeah, no kidding.
I can't be sick right now, so I'm not going to get sick.
Yeah. It's bonkers.
Power of words.
Well, and the only thing that I'm like struggling with right now is like, I recently had a friend pass away from cancer, but for the whole thing, they were very like positive and hopeful through it.
Yeah.
So it was shocking because I was like, well, they had the proper mindset.
But it had to kind of have a point though where you get tired, right?
Yeah, I think that's probably what.
I had a very close family member who I think was that fought for so long.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of hit a point where your fight's over, right?
Yeah.
And that could be, I mean, some people are like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's just bodies. It just happens, right?
Yeah.
But there's a reason why someone with like, you have 1 year to live, lives for another 10 years.
Yeah.
You can't tell me it's not mindset.
Oh, right.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't tell me that that person didn't have a goal they wanted to reach or wanted to experience, a life experience. Like,
exactly.
You're not done fighting yet, so you're not going to
finish fighting until you're done. Yeah.
Exactly. And so that's what I think with not just the one family, many of my family members who have been sick and held on to sickness for a long time.
Yeah.
And then finally
we're like
you fall into it, right? We're not immortal.
Oh yeah.
But it's the mindset you go into these things with.
Yeah, definitely.
That really just shape your experience and your well-being overall. As you can see.
Well, and how long would they have lasted if they hadn't had that hopeful mindset, right? Like,
exactly.
What could, like, yeah.
If you don't have something to live for,
then, well, and especially with this individual, religion was very important to them. So the thought of going to heaven was like exciting for them. It was like, I get to meet God. I'm like, not excited because obviously they're dying and they're going to miss their earthly family, but it's
sucks,
like,
but I have something to look forward to.
Yeah, there's something on the other side that made it easier, right?
Yeah.
So
it's comforting. And like my great grandma, her release was that she saw her dead husband.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, he came to say hello and he came to collect me and I want to go now.
Yeah. Who's going to argue with that?
2 days later, I think she like it was either a day later or like 2 days later.
Yeah. Well, and
there
even,
she goes.
Even that could be like the affirmation of like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with what's happening.
Yeah.
I accept it. Obviously, I would do it differently if I had the choice, but I don't, so I'm okay with where I'm at right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on those sad notes,
but it's sad, but it's whatever you perceive
you make
it to be, right?
Yeah.
I have grown up with a very raw and realistic experiences with death. It's not sad or scary to me because it just happens.
Yeah.
Right. And so that has given me a lot of grace to like live in the moment and not take anything for granted and live while you got life to live and love while you've got love to give.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful sentence that I can't say normally.
Yeah.
But
no, it is very true.
But it's just how you shape your perception. If you live in fear your entire life and try to live in a bubble, what life is that?
It's not the quality, right?
Like you're gonna die anyways.
Yeah.
You're just gonna die sad.
You might as well live a life that you love so that when you die you're surrounded by friends and family who love you and like you have this legacy and you had stories and you lived your full life.
Yeah.
Right? Like
whatever you want that to be.
Yeah, whatever that looks like for each person.
Your full life is traveling the world. Do it.
Travel the world.
Full life is having 45 kids and have 45 kids.
Literally, like there's no one stopping you.
Yeah. Like grace to your income.
And your body.
Yeah. Well, not everything has to be birthed.
True. Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a different thing, but live your life to what fulfills you the most.
Exactly. And that kind of goes with the last point that I want to talk about, which is that it's important that you're affirming things that reflect your core personal values, and the affirmation should be targeted at actions that you can take to reinforce your your sense of self-identity,
Yeah.
And the article that I actually pulled this from has lists of affirmations at the end of it. So if you want, we can share the article, and you can start like practicing affirmations. If you do, like, if you're just looking for somewhere to start, they have like lists and lists and lists for like certain things for like health, love, pets, jobs, personal, like they had a ton of different ones.
Yeah, we can link that one. We can link Dr. Emoto stuff in the description below. And the other studies, you have the other studies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can link all those studies into our description so you can check them out for yourself.
Yeah. Okay, so for our segment today, we're doing food quirks, funny ways we eat food, basically. Yeah.
This came from like, I sent Journey a TikTok, or you sent me a TikTok of like the way this girl eats colored candies.
Oh yeah.
And she pairs them up and then she eats them down until they're all the same number.
Yeah.
And like continuous and so
then
on
just
and so
eats
forth.
them until there's like one left, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Journey and I, we've talked about this because I'm just particular about certain things. And so is she.
Yeah.
For different reasons.
Yeah.
But We're just gonna share some of our food quirks and processes.
Yeah, and then you guys can share yours and or judge us for ours.
Yeah, can you relate
or are we off the wall?
Or roast us in the comments.
Yeah, we'll call this Relator Roast. That's actually a good name. I'm writing that down. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so my first one is I eat my colored candies or like flavored candies, like think of like Welch's fruit snacks, from my least favorite to my most favorite.
Okay, and I eat the orange ones first because they're my least favorite, and then I try to create a pattern of the other ones.
See, for Welch's, the orange ones are my favorite. I saved those ones for last.
Really? Oh my gosh, they're so gross.
I love them.
Oh, okay, that's weird. Like, no offense.
I'll take your orange ones. It's okay.
Okay, man.
You can have my grape ones.
We're so complimentary.
Yin and yang.
Literally. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I like eat them in a pattern, but the pattern is like specific to each bag. Like I make up a new pattern for each thing. And then with Skittles, I like to eat like 2 at a time to find like which color flavors like taste the best together.
Apparently Skittles, they're all the same flavor.
Probably.
Apparently.
I don't. And then it's just color that
I think it's just
makes
mental.
It,
yeah.
Oh my goodness, we should do a blind taste test Skittles.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because apparently,
yeah.
I heard that somewhere. Apparently that's a thing.
Honestly, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I feel like only the lemon one really tastes different.
Yeah.
Like the yellow one.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do a blind taste test and we'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll film it and share it.
Yeah.
Oh, I put mustard on everything.
Yeah. There's some things, a lot of them make sense. Okay, I thought of you. I was watching a YouTuber, and one of her pregnancy cravings was mustard on mac and cheese. Like Kraft Dinner mac and cheese.
I've done that.
And I thought of you immediately. Her boyfriend was like, what the heck is this? This is disgusting. Like,
That's
get this out of my face. And I just thought of Journey. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Journey's definitely done that.
Yeah, that's what I ate in Mexico. It was just like, I sent my mom a Snapchat and I just had like a plate of fries with mustard. And she's like, you have all the food available to you and you choose fries with mustard?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
And once upon a time I would call you psychopath for that. I do like mustard now, but not to the same extent that you do.
I love it. I think I just really enjoy the vinegar in it.
Yeah. See, and I'm not a big vinegar person.
Oh, big vinegar girl over here.
Oh, this is one I get roasted for quite a bit. When people actually pay attention. So when I have a Kit Kat or a Ferrero Rocher, I eat the chocolate around the wafer first.
Oh.
And then I eat the wafer.
That is psychopathic.
But I'll break it off by bar. So I'm not like biting the whole bar of the Kit Kat. That's psychopathic.
We might have needed to stop being friends if that was.
No, I'll break it off bar by bar. But then for a Kit Kat, for example, I'll break the bar and then there's like a lip of chocolate because it's slightly angled. And so I find that lip, I break off that chocolate all around the Kit Kat, scrape off the top and the bottom, and then eat the wafer.
See, I feel like I do that too, but it's like I bite it and then I like peel off the chocolate inside my mouth kind of.
That's
and
even
then
weirder.
Well, it's not, I haven't eaten a Kit Kat in so long. I have no idea how I eat it, but that's because I kind of have feelings of that.
But then Ferrero Rocher, same thing. Like you eat the chocolate around the wafer, and then with that one, I'll crack the wafer open because it's in 2 parts.
Right.
And then I'll lick out the hazelnut filling and then eat the wafer.
Weird.
Yeah.
I just eat them.
Yeah, I get roasted for those ones quite a bit.
That's fair.
When people pay attention.
I don't have this one on my list, but I just thought of it. When I eat goldfish crackers, I try to like break them, like line them up on my molars, and I like break them along the seam, or I bite off their tails first, and then I do that.
I'll do that outside. Like I'll bite it off, like
really
separate it like that. Yeah.
Oh, it bugs me too much when they don't break evenly that I just have to do it in my mouth, so I can just eat it really quickly.
That's fun.
That's fun. Okay, I put my favorite snack as a kid was butter on saltine crackers.
See, I just don't like cold butter makes me gag a little bit. And so like on saltines, it's just like a big gag.
Yeah.
Like on like a little bit on sourdough, I like. Or like a Finnish rye bread. I like that, but I don't know, the thought of it on saltines is like,
oh,
triggers my gag reflex.
Oh my goodness, I love that. I would go to my grandma's and that was my favorite snack because she always had saltines and she loves butter.
Yeah.
So, galore. It was so good.
It's fun. When I have a plate of food, I tend to eat it from like my least favorite to favorite again.
Mm-hmm.
So the last taste in my mouth is my favorite thing on my plate.
Yeah.
But more often than not, I make bowls. I make a lot of bowls.
Oh, yes.
Mediterranean bowls, poke bowls, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And that rule does not apply to bowls.
Really?
I'll design the bowls. I'll make them really pretty. Like for a poke bowl, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I like making it nice and colorful.
Yeah.
And then I mix it all together and eat it like this giant bowl of mush.
Interesting.
Rather than keeping them separate and eating it favorite to least favorite.
Yeah, I feel like with bowls it is different. But even then, like if there's something in the bowl that I don't like, I'll try and kind of like put it on my fork with something that I do like.
Okay.
So that it's like not all bad.
Yeah.
You know? But my next one is that if you put corn and chili and you call it taco soup, I will love it. But if you just call it chili, it's dead to me and I will not eat it.
That is like the weirdest thing. Like when Jody first told me that, I was like, shut up. Like there's no way.
Literally, because I was like, I never liked chili growing up. And then my grandma introduced me to taco soup. And then I was like, oh my goodness, I love taco soup. And then when I was living, like when I started living with Bryce and I was making taco soup, he's like, this is just how my family makes chili.
Yeah.
Like, just call it chili. And I was like,
Yeah.
no. Because then I tried to make chili, like with chili seasoning. And I was just like, no, this is so gross. I can't eat this.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck? It's corn
It's
and taco seasoning.
It's so weird. It's like...
it's probably one of my quirkiest.
Well, it's like the same thing. Like you say you hate chai tea. And then you got this one chai tea brand that you would love.
Yeah, it's
like,
a dirty chai tea.
Like, shut up. You don't hate chai tea, Journey. Like,
I'm just picky.
I sounded like Gavin.
Yeah.
This was in a group chat, and Gavin's like, whoa, Michaela, getting kind of mean. I was like, no, Jordan does this all the time, where she's like, I hate this thing.
And then
but I
eat
love
something.
it. It's the same thing. I'm like, then you don't hate the thing. You just are very particular.
What's the whole mind over matter? I prefer it called blah, 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 whatever than I would. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, I
Stupid.
hate chai. And I'm like, you love
have
this
chai tea. You can't say
Get
that.
out of here. like, well, I don't like chai at work. And I'm like, then you're picky with your chais.
Just say that. But I'm never going to order chai going somewhere because I know it's not going to taste like the tea that I have.
Except you did in Halifax. Didn't you?
No, my mom did. I got her to order it. I got
okay.
her to order a maple chai.
Ah, that's it.
Because I knew that that's good and popular with everyone else. And I was like, you're going to love it.
That's it. My bad.
Yes. I was like, what? I did? A ground beef and asparagus give me headaches, so I don't like eating them.
Yeah.
Why asparagus? Not a clue.
Yeah, I can't tell why asparagus, but
It's gross.
like beef, I guess maybe it doesn't digest well for you.
That
Maybe
could be.
asparagus for you is like bananas for me.
Yeah. Well, I've never liked ground beef.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm like, oh, like ground beef gives me a headache. Everyone's like, no, it doesn't. I'm like, yes, it does. And then asparagus, like Bryce loves asparagus, but I never cook it because it makes me like sick to eat it.
I mean, you can just cook it and not eat it.
Well, it feels wasteful.
My mom loves asparagus. My dad likes broccoli. My mom makes broccoli for my dad and she makes asparagus for herself.
That's adorable. Not that dedicated.
Here's my next one. I hate McDonald's. I think everything tastes like plastic or oil.
Yeah.
As we had in my description the other day, it was the worst $8 I've ever spent in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
I there's nothing about it that I like.
Yeah.
And a lot of that comes from my mom had gallstones taken out when I was a kid. And she brings these things home and shows it to us. And she's like, this is what happens when you eat too much McDonald's.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's been dead to me ever since.
That'll do it.
And now I've tried to go in with like a neutral mindset. I just can't. I just hate it.
Yeah.
I hate the oil. I hate there's no flavor.
Yeah.
I just think it's disgusting.
Yeah. I like, the last time I had a McDonald's beef burger, I had to lay on my bed and just like breathe through the amount of pain I was experiencing. I was like, that was terrible.
Yeah.
But I don't mind their chicken and I love their fries.
Yeah. No, the fries are the most disgusting part.
Really?
Oh no,
They're literally my favorite fries.
No, they're dog shit.
Oh my gosh. That's so weird, hey?
I hate it. Yeah.
No, I love them. They're my favorite
They were
fries.
slightly better than the chicken nuggets, but it's just not.
Yeah.
It's not it for me.
Yeah. Graylin and my cousin watched a video when they were younger of like how chicken nuggets got made. And I don't think Graylin has ever touched a McDonald's chicken nugget after that.
Yeah, no.
It's like, no.
Chicken nuggets and sausage are just two things that are just made disgusting.
Well, those are two videos I'm just never going to watch because I am not going to be able to eat them.
Yeah.
That will not be good for me.
No.
On that topic, if I get a weird smell when I'm cooking, the whole meal is dead to me.
Yeah, that's when you told me that, it's really intense. Like,
I hate it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'll be making and it happened with the yummy salmon bowl that I was making a little while ago. I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And I don't know if I just didn't have one ingredient or I used something else. And I made it and I got a weird smell and it's dead to me. Which is so sad because it was one of my favorite meals.
Well, yeah, you like made them all the time.
All the time. And it was so quick and easy and fresh.
Yeah. So
that's kind of devastating.
I guess you have to tweak it so it's like taco soup.
Yeah, literally. Like, I'll just add some corn.
Yeah. You can.
That would actually be really good.
You can.
That would be really good.
She'll check back in.
Yeah.
I hate like diet sodas or anything with like artificial sweeteners in it.
Mm-hmm.
And like the aspartame specifically that's like used for a sweetener there gives me a headache like instantly.
Yeah.
Even with gum, like I can't like chewing
really?
gum. Immediate headache now.
Interesting.
Unless it's like so specific.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can fight through it, but it's just it absolutely disgusts me.
Yeah. I don't notice the aspartame flavoring in things, but I do notice when it's like an artificial sweetener like stevia or something.
Well, stevia is not artificial.
Really?
Let me confirm that to make sure that's stupid.
I thought it was like a fake thing and everyone was like so excited because it's quote unquote not sugar, but it's actually not better for you.
No, stevia is a real thing. It's not artificial. Stevia is from like the leaves of a plant.
Oh, what the heck?
But it does taste like 100 times sweeter than sugar.
Yeah, I do. I can pick that out.
Yeah.
Of things.
But that's so aspartame, sucralose, pretty sure sucralose, xylitol, those are all like artificial sweeteners that have been made to mimic like stevia.
Yeah. Well, that was like mom was telling me when we were younger because we were like a no sugar household. Someone was like, oh my goodness, I made you these muffins. They have no sugar. And they're like, okay, awesome. And like tried them. The lady was still talking. She's like, yeah, like I used corn syrup instead. And
it's almost worse.
Mom and dad were like, that's not better. Yeah. But thank you.
You know, corn syrup isn't any better because it's just so processed.
Yeah, exactly.
But stevia is a natural, it's from a leaf.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Another thing, fun fact, those artificial sweeteners, they actually mess up with your insulin. So it's actually not any better for you than sugar.
Yeah, they're really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like the aspartame, as we talked about, it's excitatory. So like will cause like neuronal death.
Oh, jeez Louise.
Because it overexcites your brain and yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, so just drink the full sugar Coke.
Yeah. That is fair. My next one is that I hate ketchup, but I love ketchup chips.
That's like you hate peanut butter, but you like
peanut sauce. That was my next one. Is that I hate peanut butter, but I love peanut sauce on noodles and peanut M&Ms.
You like the Bliss bars, which had like chocolate peanut butter.
And coconut, like 3 of my least favorite things.
So weird.
And it was like
all together.
That was all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they just kind of like there was enough of each flavor to kind of like mute the other flavors. So it wasn't just like one flavor that I hated, but it was just like a muted all of the flavors that I hated that made it good. I don't know. And honey. There was honey in there too.
Yeah.
The only thing I liked that was in there was just the almonds and the oats.
On their own.
Yeah.
But you had a Bliss bar like every single shift.
For a while.
For like 5 months straight.
Literally. They were so good.
So weird.
Yeah. So that checks off my hates ketchup, but love ketchup chips. I don't love chocolate. And I don't like peanut butter, but I love peanut sauce on noodles and peanut M&Ms. Unless all 3 of those things... No, not ketchup. Not ketchup. Is in a Bliss bar. So Yeah, riddle me that one.
That's why I don't like believe anything. When Journey says I don't like something, I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah.
You either haven't had it made in a way that you enjoyed, or it smelt weird to you. But you actually, it's not that you don't like the ingredient. It's whatever surroundings happened before you consumed that ingredient.
Literally.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of like baked cakes or buttercream frosting.
Interesting.
Unless it's from like a very specific location. And it's not a universal location. It's this one local spot in town.
Yeah.
That makes the best cupcakes I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
And that's the only baked cake that I really enjoy.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm not a cake person either.
That's why like last year when you said like, oh, like what cake should I get you for your birthday? And I'm like, nothing like vanilla chocolate or whatever. Get me like an ice cream cake, a cheesecake, tiramisu cake. Like I love that kind of stuff.
Those were all really, And that's the same kind of thing where I'm like, I'd much rather take an ice cream cake over like a regular cake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, my last one is that I will always eat my fries smallest to biggest until there's only a few left, and then I eat them by size. So I'll like match up two that I think are the same size, and then I'll eat those two until I get to the longest fry.
Interesting.
Yeah, every single time without fail.
I've seen people, a lot of deal. Like for the fries, I like to eat the soggy ones first and the crunchy ones last.
Oh,
because I like the crunchy ones best. I've seen people like debate that on the internet and stuff too.
Yeah. No, I will literally like dig through my pile of fries for the smallest ones.
Wow.
Yeah. Devoted.
Devoted.
It's dedicated. Yeah.
I think Starbucks espresso tastes stale. I'm not a fan.
Oh, that's probably why I like it. Like, I learned that I really only like the milk in like lattes.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I like them.
Yeah. See, I think that the espresso tastes like cardboard.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm not a fan of Starbucks espresso. And so when I get something from Starbucks, it's usually like a matcha. So,
have you tried like different roasts or just all of it?
Just whatever they use for their espresso tastes stale.
Oh, because I find like with Tim Hortons, their regular roast, I don't like. It's too like sweet almost.
Yeah.
And then if you get like a double, it's like so sweet. Yeah. But if you get the dark roast, then it's a little bit better.
No, I've just become a snob with like my coffee, especially.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was a little bit of a snob before working in the coffee shop. And then like even our espresso that we use, it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
But I think it's so much better than Starbucks.
Oh, interesting.
And I know you disagree with that.
Yeah, vehemently.
Yeah. I know that, but I don't like it just tastes like cardboard.
It's just preferences. Yeah.
It tastes like cardboard to me. And their oat milk, whatever they use, it also tastes like cardboard.
It's just not good.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, that's fair.
So a coconut milk iced matcha is kind of the only thing I get there from there now.
That's what's good.
Or a frap. That's just like sugar.
Yeah, that's just cream and sugar.
Yeah, you want a milkshake with a little bit of coffee flavor.
What I love. Yeah. They always throw me off when they're like, do you want it coffee based or cream based? And I'm like,
if you want it to taste like coffee or not.
Well, yeah, I'm like, please put coffee in my frap.
Yeah. Well, because some people don't like that, right?
I know, it's just weird because I'm like, I thought that was just an ingredient.
I thought the whole point of a frap is a blended coffee.
Well, yeah, I made that mistake when I ordered the vanilla bean frap.
People have made it like milkshakes though.
Oh my gosh, it was disgusting.
I used to like that. I loved that as a kid.
Yeah, I feel like as a kid it would be really good, but I was expecting
just like a vanilla milkshake.
Yeah. But it was so sweet. And then I said yes to the whipped cream and I was like, wow, I'm going to be riding this sugar high for a minute.
Strawberries and cream was also really sweet. And that was like, it's like a strawberry.
Yummy. Yeah.
But you can't do that with coffee. I feel like
that's
strawberries
true,
and coffee.
That'd be kind of gross.
You could do like a strawberry matcha.
Ooh, strawberry matcha frap. Deadly.
Well, down for it. And my last one, I'm going to say, I'm a little bit of a water snob.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before. Reverse osmosis filters make my tongue like dry. I'm not snobby enough to like not drink the water.
Yeah.
But I definitely notice it that I don't like that.
Yeah.
And then there's like tap water does the same thing.
Tap water is gross.
If I can taste chlorine or fluoride in the water, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah,
I don't like it. But again, I'm more of a hydration snob than I am the water snob. And so
yeah, Bryce and I went to a restaurant and I couldn't drink the water because there was so much iron in it. You could like smell the iron and it just tasted like a bloody nose. Yeah. I was like, I cannot drink this. Like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
Like, you're serving this to customers?
Yeah.
Like, that's gross. How do you not notice?
Well, they may not be able to do anything about it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right?
But I feel like, could you not put a Brita filter or something? Like, there's...
To filter out the minerals, I don't know.
Yeah, right? Like, I don't know. It was just so strong. I was like, there's gotta be something you can do to fix this.
Yeah.
But...
I don't know.
Whatever.
The snobbiest of snob, the most
yeah, that was like...
richest thing I've ever said. Like, fresh spring mountain water is like the best water.
Yeah.
I had my friend from the prairies come out and we were driving through the mountains and I stopped at the spot and I said, you need to get out and taste that water right now.
Yeah.
We drove past a spring.
Yeah.
And she was like, holy shit, this is the best water I've ever consumed in my life.
Yeah.
She's like, I hate water. I love this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, 'cause this is actually nourishing for you.
Yeah, it's actually good.
It's fresh and cold and nourishing, like wholeheartedly. It's all the minerals you possibly need from the glaciers.
Yeah. And that was like, I am not really like too picky about water as long as it's cold. Like I prefer cold water. I can drink pretty much anything unless it tastes so much like iron. It just feels like I'm drinking blood.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah.
All right. Well, that's
the power of words.
Yeah. and some stories and
relate or roast.
Yeah.
So let us know if you related or roasted. I guess. I don't know.
Do you relate? Or are you going to say something mean to us? Go for it.
How thick does my skin need to be for this? Remember, words have power. Be nice.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm Mak Joy.
I'm Mak Jubes.
We are sometimes Ciabatta Slaps on all podcast streaming platforms.
Mm-hmm.
That's all my voice can really take right now.
Yeah, so ta-ta for now.
Bye.
Bye.